So yesterday we discussed about operators, different types of operators. So what are the operators? Arithmetic operators, relational operators, special operators, and equality, logical, bitwise, assignment, ternary operators. Okay. Do you have any questions on this part? If you have any questions, you can.
From my
Hello.
side,
Okay. And what about Naga and Igor?
no.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. The next topic is input and output statements. Okay. So in our computer device, total how many devices we have? Total two types of devices we have. What are those devices? Input device and output device. Okay, input device and second devices are output devices. What is meant by input devices? So for computer, the input devices are keyboard, mouse, right? And what is the output device? Monitor, nothing but screen. This is the output device. In the same way, in Python also we have functions for input and output. So those functions are called input and output statements. So input statements means, so if you want to read the dynamic data from keyboard, okay. So for example, if I want to enter something, I have to give the data from the keyboard. So I have to capture the data. For to capture the data, there is a function called input. See, simple in simple, I have if I say input function, if I execute this cell, okay. If I execute this cell, input and output statements. So if I execute this cell, I will get a dialog box here. Okay. So if I enter something, AST of something, any name, so it is giving a string, right? So if I enter the numbers 1, 2, 3, again it is giving string. So input statements, if you give any input to this function, it always returns string data type. Okay. So I have to mention what I have to enter. So if I simply say input means no one can know, don't know, right? So what I have to give the input. So here I will mention enter some, enter employee ID. So this is the prompt I am giving here. If I execute this now, what is the output I am getting? See, here I am getting the prompt. So here I need to give the employee ID. So if I give the integer value, what it is returning? String value. Okay. So already I told you, right? So whenever, if I want to convert any string value to any format, how can we convert? Simply, you have to use the data type function. If I want to convert into integer, simply I will use integer function. I will put the whole statement inside the int function. If I give the number, see, now it is the data type. So now I'm getting the data, right? So to hold the data, I need a variable. Simply I assign a variable here, employee ID. This is the variable. So whenever if you give a number, okay, this value, this number, this value is assigned to that employee ID variable. If I say no, if I print employee ID, we'll get like this. In simple terms, employee ID equals to 142. In this way, it assigns this line. Okay. So this is the replica of this line. Employee ID. If I give employee ID, I will get the output. Okay. So if I want to convert it into float, just give here float. Automatically it converts into float data type. See, so we can convert the data type as per your requirement. Simply you have to give the float. So is it possible to convert the complex into integer? Complex number to integer. Already I told you in the introduction class. Is it possible to convert the complex into integer? No, no, we cannot. And string to integer, is it possible?
Yes, yes.
String to integer.
No, no.
So string to
So actual
integer is
dynamic
not
we
possible.
will assign
So
data type. Again, why we need to convert in?
no, no. By default, we will get the string data type. So if you see here,
So
by
suppose
default,
if I give the characters, it will take string. Suppose if I give the number, by default it has to take it as integer, right? That is what the difference between Python and Java.
no, no, no. Actually, it is for the if you give directly the number means it's okay, but we are giving input to this
Through
function.
input function. Through input
So
function.
we are so input function always returns the string data type.
Okay, okay.
Okay. So input function always return string data type. So we need to convert as per our requirement. So this is the number. So I have to convert into integer. Okay. And I will assign a variable here. 42. Okay. So this is about the input. Okay. So here I have given write a program to read two numbers from the keyboard and print sum. In simple, I have to read two keywords. Okay. First of all, I will write input, enter number one. Okay. And here I will assign a variable here. Next, y equals to input, enter number two, enter number two. Okay. Here I am getting the two values. So here I am doing addition, x plus y, and I will get the output. So if I execute this cell, first number 1 I will give, and the second number 2 I will give. What is the output I will get? Anyone?
One and two.
Hello. So what is the output I will get?
12.
Sorry, I didn't get you.
1 and 2 together. Plus 12.
Yeah, I will get 12 because here we are getting in string data type. I am getting the data. So 1 and 2. If the data type is string, then what it will do? It will concatenate. Okay, you will get 12. But what I have to get 1 plus 2. I have to get what is the output I have to get? 3. But here I am getting 12. So what I have to do? I have to convert this value into integer. I have to convert the both values into integer. Okay. Now if I again okay, now I will get the output as a 3. So this is about the input function. And these are all the sample programs. You need to practice these programs. Okay. Next, how to read multiple values from the keyboard in a single line. Okay, split function, we will get it in the list. So at that time I will explain, because split is a function. So whenever we are entering the data, what it will do, it split means the string value will be, see, simple. If I explain this, for example, I have a name here, hello. Okay, so if I apply function here, split, yes, I have a split function. Teacher split topics. Okay, input, tell the numbers. Okay, so I am entering 10, 20. Okay, so I am getting the string. So I just want to split the data, again 10 to 20. See, it is converting into the list. Okay, so split function, what exactly it will do is, so as per the space we are given, as per the delimiter, for example, here I have a string with h hyphen e hyphen l hyphen l o. Okay, this is the string I have. Okay, so I want to split this string according to the delimiter. What is the delimiter here? Hyphen. So what I will do, I will write split function, and I will give the delimiter as hyphen. So as per the hyphen, this string will be converted into the list data type. Okay. So if I give you here any other symbol, for example, if I replace the symbol with the plus, what is the delimiter here? Plus. I have to give the delimiter as a plus. So according to the plus, it will delimit the values. Okay. So split function is used to convert the string data type to list data type. Okay, so from this I'm iterating one by one and doing the addition. So this example we can practice. In simple, what they have done is they just applied the ternary operator here. Okay, so for this is the for loop. Okay, in the next class I will explain about the for loop. So for now, just skip this example. Okay, and remember about the split function, how it works. So a split function can take as a separator, space as a separator by default, but we can pass any separator. So here what I am passing here, passing the delimiter as a plus. This is called separator. Okay, so this is about the split function. And there is a eval function. Eval function is nothing but, so if there is any expression inside that, if there is any expression we are passing to that eval function, it will simply evaluate that value. Okay, for example, here I have given 10 plus 20 plus 30. Okay, if I provide this output in input value to eval function, so this will evaluate the value as per the expression. Okay, 10 plus 20 plus 30, the output is 60. So if I pass the all arithmetic operations, so according to the BODMAS rule, it will evaluate this function, this value. Okay, any doubts here? Evaluate function. And these are the examples for evaluate. And coming to global expression, command and arguments. Yeah, so actually we have two types of variables. Okay, global variable and local variables. Global variable is nothing but the variable which can be accessed all over the program is called global variable. And the local variable means the variable which can be accessed at a particular scope. Means, for example, if I have a function, this is called my function 1. So in this function, I have a variable called a equals to 10. And thereafter, I've written some commands, print low, high, and return a. Okay. So this is the function I've written. So if I try to access this a variable, is it possible to access? If I say print of a, is it possible? No, because a is a local variable. Okay, this is local variable. Why? Why? Because this local variable scope is up to this function. Okay, so we cannot access outside the function. We cannot access this variable outside the function. So this is called local variable. If I say global variable, if we declare outside a function or outside of any program, or suppose b equals to 20, simply we can access the b variable here because it is a global variable. Okay, so this is about global and local. So I will explain this global and variables, local variables in the OOPS concepts. In the OOPS concepts, we have different types of variables. There we will discuss about the global and local. Okay, and coming to command line arguments. So what is meant by this command line arguments? Command line arguments means nothing but the arguments are the values which are passing at the time of execution. Okay, these are called command line arguments. So this is a command line argument, right? So when I'm executing this, when I'm giving the values, so at the runtime I'm giving the values. So already a program was run. Okay, at runtime dynamically I'm giving the value. So this is also called as command line arguments. But before that, we can pass the variables at the time of execution. Okay. So whenever if there is any program, I have to execute that program. But before executing that program, I have to pass the variables. Okay. Means, for example, I have a program new.py in a file. Okay. So whenever I'm trying to, I want to pass the values to this program. Okay. To pass the values at the time of execution only, I will forward these values. Okay. So what actually means, see, simple in simple terms, I will try to say easily. So we can execute the program in two ways. Okay. I think forget to tell this one information. Okay. So we can execute the Python programs in multiple ways. Okay. So first of all, what is the how to run the Python programs? Okay. So to know the version, first of all, you need to open the command cmd. So to find out the version, which type of version we are using, just give the command python hyphen version, python hyphen version. If you give this command, it will give the type of version you are using, Python 3.11.4. Okay. So now, so I want to execute in interactive mode. Simple, in the command prompt, just type Python. So it will open the interactive mode. Okay. In this interactive mode, you can execute the simple program. Mean, for example, um, for I in range 10, print I. This way we can execute the programs here, Python programs. Okay. But we can execute only we can execute only simple programs, not the complex programs we can execute. We can execute only the simple programs. Range of 0 to 10. Values we will get from 0 to 9, we will get the values. Range of 0 to 9 or print hello. You execute, you will get the output. So this is one type of execution. This is interactive mode. Okay. So don't prefer this interactive mode because you need to run the simple scripts. Okay. And the second way is to run the Python script using command line argument. Okay, using command line. So what I will do, I will just see I have a file new.py file where it is located the e code Python official. So simple, I will open that path e code and Python official. So here I have the file, a simple file. The file name is, what is the file name? New.py. Where is the file name here? Python official practice. Yeah, inside the practice. Mhm. Okay. So here I will create a simple yes. Okay, I will create a file here. So this is the second way of executing a program. Okay. So simple, I will open a file. Okay. I will name this file as ABC something. Will name this file as file save as. So I will save this file in a particular location. For example, okay. So in E in code. So here in Python official, I'm saving the my file. Okay, the file name is something new.py. Okay, I'm saving a Python file. .py is nothing but extension to say that it is a Python file. Okay, simple. I write a simple program print hello. Okay, and I will save this program. So now I want to execute this file. Now I want to execute this program using command prompt. So how can I execute? Simply here in the I mean interactive mode. To exit from the interactive mode, this is the command exit. So it will come out of the exit command interactive mode. Now I have to go to that path. What is the path here? This is the path. So CD. So first it is in C drive. I want to go to in C drive. Okay. Now CD change directory and the path. So at present I am in Python official folder. So here I need to run the Python program. In simple, Py the command is Python space file name new.py. See, I got the output. Okay. In the same way, if I want to execute other program, for example, I have this program, right? Where is this one? Uh, So for example, I have some program, any program, take a simple program. For example, I have this program, right? Okay, I'll copy and paste this program here and save. So again, I will run the program from here. Python space new.py. So enter the color of the light. If I give red, stop. This is the second way of executing a Python program. How I am executing? I'm just writing a Python file. Inside that Python file, I'm writing a program. And after writing that, I will save that file. And from here, I redirect to that particular path where the file is stored. Okay. And inside that, I will give this command Python space, and the file name. Okay. So this is the second way of executing the program. And coming to the third one, Jupyter Notebook. Okay, Jupyter Notebook. And fourth one, PyCharm, Visual Studio. These are all common. Okay. In this way, we can execute our programs. Okay. So coming to our slide, where is our slide? Input and output. Okay. So now command line arguments are nothing but the arguments which are passed at the time of running the program. Okay. So at the time of running program, we need to pass the command line arguments. So these are called command line arguments. So for example, yeah. So this is the so whenever I am trying to execute a Python program, okay, here I have to pass the commands arguments. Okay. So instead of passing red here, okay, after entering into the program, but I need to pass this path before entering into the program like this. Okay. So for that, what I have to do is I will just import from sys module. I will import argument variable. Okay. So this is a command I will do from sys import argv argument variables. Okay. If I print what is meant by argument variables, what are the argument variables I will get? So just I will print these values. For now, I will comment this one. Okay. I'm commenting these lines. Okay. I just want to print what is meant by RGB, argv argument variables. Okay. Now execute the program. Okay. Execute the program. Red. See how I am getting? I am getting in a list. Okay. So how I am getting? I am getting in a list. The data type is list. Okay. So from this, I'm getting the file name. The first one is the file name, and the second one is the argument variables. Okay. So these are the list of arguments I am getting. List of arguments. So from this, what I want? Only this value I want, because this is the file name. I don't want this file name. I want only this argument. How can we access from a list? Simple, list underscore arguments of the index. What is the index here? This is the 0th index. This is the 1th index. So I will give one index 1. I'm getting right? So I need to pass this variable to color. Simple. I will pass this variable to color. So here, instead of giving this, I will remove these lines and I will paste it here. See, in simple, what is the color? So what is the color? Color variable, how to get the value? Argument variable of 1. Okay. Now execute the program through command prompt. You got the output, right? So if I want to execute, if I want to give some other command, okay, and if not, the last one, orange. So what is the difference between this? So whenever before executing the program, we are giving output input to the program. But in our case, in our programming, so what we are doing, we are running the program. Okay. After executing the first line, we are giving the value. But here in the command prompt, we are passing the value before executing the program. Okay. These are called command line arguments. Command line at runtime, we are passing the values. So within the Python program, these command line arguments are available in argv, which is present in the sys module. Okay. So argv of 0 is nothing but the file name. Okay. Name of the program, but not first command line argument. Represent first command line argument. So these are all the arguments whichever we need to pass the values to program. Okay. So this is about command line arguments. Okay. So these are all the examples how to execute the command line arguments. Okay. And so okay. So if there is no so if we are using the parameters, if we are passing less parameters, then we will get index out of range. In simple, for example, I have a list. Okay. 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 4. So this is the list object. So I want to access L of, I want to access number 1, L of 0, 1 I will get. Okay. Next one is L of 1, 2 I will get. L of 2, L of 2, what is the value? 3. L of 3 is the value 4. So if I say L of 4, what is the output we will get? So index is not there. The index for this 4 is not there. The value is not present. If I say L of 4, I will get index error, list index out of range. In the same way, if passing, if you are not passing any values for this program, we will get the index out of range error, because we are accessing one index, but here we are not provided the value. So that's why we are getting list index out of range error. Okay. This is about command line argument. Okay. And next, coming to output statement. So the input statement, for input statement, the function is the input eval. Okay. Those two functions are input statements. And coming to output, so output statements, we have a print function. Print function is used to display the output. Okay. So whatever the output we are getting, we need to display that output in the monitor. Okay. In simple, we use print to print the output. Print a plus b. So a equals to some value, b equals to some value. Okay. And here I am printing a plus b. Means it will give the output. So print statement is used to display the output. Okay. But here we have some different formatting strings. Okay. So in different ways we can print the out. For example, if I print the escape character, if I give the escape character, okay, if I give the escape character here, so slash n is nothing but next line. Slash t is nothing but tab space. Okay. Slash n is nothing but escape characters. These are called escape characters. Okay. Slash n is nothing but next line. So from high, after high, you need to print these lines in the next line. Okay. In the same way, in the same way, slash t means nothing but tab space. I will get tab space here. Okay. This is about the print statement. So if both arguments are string type, then operator concatenate. Already I've explained, right? So if the both string data types, then plus operator will act as a concatenation operator. Okay. If one argument is string, the second one is other another data type, then we will get a error. Okay. And this is about that. And these are the forms of print. So how can we print the data as per our requirement? So here I've given a comma b comma c. So here I'm so instead of giving like this a equals to 10, b equals to 20, c equals to 30. So instead of giving in multiple lines, I will assign a value to the variable in one line. So multiple variables can assign value at a once. So in this way we can assign the value. Okay. And the values here I'm giving the string value. For the string I'm appending the outputs, the variables. If I execute. So separator is nothing but so between the outputs I will get the separator as this comma. Okay. If I give the separator colon, I will get the colon here. Okay. So and these are all the print statements. So print and there is an end option parameter is there. So end option is nothing but you will give the space here delimiter. So according to the delimiter, end is nothing but after the printing the string, you will give the space. Okay. And printing the objects. So if we have the list, it will print the list objects like this in the same way. And so the form 6 is nothing but print string and the variable list. So if I provide the variables here, so according to the variables, it will print. So for example, so I have employee ID. Employee ID is 71138. Okay. And the name is some name I have Ravi. Okay. And age is some 28. And qualification is nothing but BTech. Okay. So now I want to make a some proper format, proper sentence. To print the proper format, I will give like this. Employee ID. Okay. I am, comma. Here I need to provide the variable here. Again, comma. My. Here I need to give the string value. My age is something. And here again I have to give the variable. Okay. And at last, I've completed my case. Again, I need to give the qualification variable. So if I print this statement, how I will get this is proper sentence we form up using print statement. Okay, or else we can give in a different format also. Simply you have to print and you have to give the index values. This is the zeroth index. This is the 1th index. This is the index. This is the third index. Okay. And all these values I have to give it in a single string. Single string I need to give. A single string I need to give the value, and here I have to, yeah, dot format. So the format I have to give, what are the formats? First one is employee ID, okay, and the second index is name, third index is age, fourth index is qualification. This is second type of formatting the string output. Okay. So and also we can use the for integers we can use percentage I, okay, or percentage d, for float percentage f and percentage s. So these are used to print the formatting string. Okay, and yeah, so this is the formatting, print with the replacement operator. So here I've given, right, this is the first one which I've explained here. Okay, and the second formatting string is using the index values. So using the index values here I have given. So if you change the format here, for example, in place of employee ID, if I give name and if I give the employee ID here, the output will be different compared to the previous output. See, what is the output here? Totally it is changed, right? So to prevent that, what we will do is we will assign keywords. Okay, for name I will give N, for employee I will give E, for age I will give a variable A, alias name. Okay, for qualification I will give Q. Okay, so according to this I will provide employee. Here I have to give the E value, here I have to give the N value, and here I have to give the A alias A, and here I have to give the Q. So if we change the order of the format variables, then it's fine. You will get as expected you want. Okay, so this is your formatting the strings. So total how many functions we learned today? Total three functions. One is print, print function. Second one is eval function. Third one is input function. So this is about input and output statements. Any questions? Hello, hello, Naga, Rajshekar. Any questions?
Mhm.
So yeah, so first three topics are very easy. So from tomorrow onwards, first three topics are the basics. So there is some confusion to understand these basics, but these basics are very important. So from here, from flow controls, programming will start. So first, if you want to know, if you want to understand how flow control will work, but before that, you need to get practice with these things: operators, input and output statement, and the introduction part. If you are good with these three topics, then from here, the programming part will start. Okay. Okay. Rajshekar, do you have any questions?
No pound today, so just I will just practice once and I will come to tomorrow. Okay.
Okay. And also, so try to create your GitHub. So just go and create your GitHub accounts. Okay. And try to please be on. So try to create Rashika, please be on it. Yeah, thank you. So and try to create a GitHub account. Okay. And whatever the practices you are doing, please push the code into that GitHub account. Okay. So tomorrow I will explain how Git works. And please install the Git also. So if you want the softwares, I will give, or else directly you can install the Git. Okay. So total tomorrow you need to install two softwares. One is Git, Git software you need to install, and Git account you need to register. Okay. So if you create your own Git repository, then nowadays so many people are forwarding this Git repository link to in the resume. Okay, so by seeing this your repositories, they can understand so how much knowledge you gathered. So try to create a Git repository. Okay, and I will explain how to push the code from Git repository. Okay, for example, today I make some changes in the code. Okay, um, yeah, today I've added one file, right? So if you see in the repository, you don't see that file because the changes were not affected in the Git repo. See here, here there is no new file, right? So now I'm trying to push the new file to Git repository. Simple, I will right click, open Git bash here. Okay. So here I will give some commands, git add star, okay, and git commit -m. I've added a new file, comments I will give, and at last I will give one more command, git push. So this will push the changes to my Git repository. Okay. Now, if you see the Python official, see here I will get the new file. Where is the new file here? Yeah, see, new file. We got the new file here. So try to create a GitHub repo and also try to register a account, GitHub, sign up with an account. Okay. And tomorrow I will tell you how to execute these commands and how to push the code from your local to your GitHub repo. Okay, so parallelly we can learn how to do the programming and also how to push the codes. Okay, any questions?
Yes, I have a question.
Yeah,
Yes, the question is, I was about to ask you if are you familiar with a Java code? I just have a question about